hit the like button, and I will see you. Thanks for watching the VOD.
No, you have to do it all my reactors too. Here, let me do it.
Wait, I was just gonna.
No.
What? Oh, what do your reactors do?
Like, hi, welcome to the hold on. Hi, welcome to Fables 220. Make sure you like, subscribe, and do all the things. Let's get started. I'm like, I can't understand you, bro. That's what so many of my reactors do.
Hey, thanks for watching Fables 220. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, and let's get to it.
And then you'd be like, oh, there's also a Discord, and we have a Patreon. It's all down the link below. Okay, let's go. And it's like, I don't know what you said. But they're trying to do it so fast so people won't like fast forward through it.
Right? Oh man, that's so funny. One of the pieces on my camera mount is broken, so I might get a little wobbly, more wobbly than normal. There we go.
Bad joke.
It's a bad joke.
Appreciate it.
I'm gonna go grab a drink and a snack. Just wait right there. We're gonna get to our trees. Look at this. Look at this amazing tree. We'll get to it. Let me grab my snack. Madeline's. Put them right here. Okay. So, where we left off, we're working with this one tree as like our prototype alpha tree. The whole thing is magnetic. This piece was magnetic to this base. But whenever my hand bumped the tree or something, not just here would bend, but down here, and it was very unstable. So, for the prototype, I just super glued this trunk to this base to kind of see where we can go, and it is a far more stable tree. Reasons to keep this version versus just by itself is I can actually knock trees over. Next to my minis, you know, the trees are taller than some of the tallest monsters, which means for some combat, Brickmaster, what is up, Brickmaster? For some of the combat, my hand will be able to actually maneuver things around. That being said, being able to just put down a small platform is also convenient. So today's step forward in the prototype testing, Madeline. Oh no! Oh no! Okay. Is painting. We're going to just do a paint test and see what everything's going to look like, and really set actual, not evidence. Well, we want to create evidence based off of less hypothetical and more actual results. So then my choices can be more clear. One of the thoughts I have that I want to experiment with, maybe not right this moment, but maybe this session, is rather than the plastic bases, we make foam half-inch base, maybe like a centimeter or something, half-inch bases that we can shape as rock with grass on top, and for seasonal trees we can actually decorate that with like fallen leaves or something. I don't know, it's a thought. It does mean the base will be lighter, but we can mess around with those things when we get to that. I just want to make sure you knew that that was a thing in my head. magnets. Drilling holes into these trees to make sure they're magnetic, though. So far, that's still the plan. So, let's do some painting. We're gonna start with a primer, and that primer is going to be oak brown. So I'm gonna put something over my white shirt. I'm gonna bring you outside, and we will spray paint this tree outside. All right? So I'm gonna go get a shirt to cover this, and we'll head outside. Hey, big boy. My cats are being adorable. Okay. Let's head outside. We got a little pocket. Put the paint can in. I got a little pocket to fit the Madeline in. Now let's take that tree outside.
Oh,
Oh, hi, Ellie.
hi. I know, Snake. Don't get scared. You're terrorizing your son.
I'm sorry, buddy.
No, it's all right.
But this is the way things are now.
Oh.
Oh, is there no cap on the paint can? We'll find out. That sounded like a car crash. Yeah, there's so many spider webs out here. I gotta clean up. Here. Okay. No, I don't want the camera facing the neighbor's windows. I'll just face my own. There we go. All right. Yeah, there's no cap. I'll be back. I'll get my cap. And we'll put. Okay. Be right back. I got a lid. Okay. So. So this bamboo log was textured, and so has most of the armature. So we're just gonna give it a coat, blend it all together with one oak brown, and that's what we're gonna work with. Now, because it's gonna be a birch tree, it's gonna be brighter, but I'd rather have it all start on one base color as a primer first, then painting a dark brown armature with a light bamboo log. There we go. Everything kind of just blend together. From afar, like if I put it this far away, you kind of can't tell. That's the goal. Great. And I'm not really concerned about the blending of the top of the tree or the bottom yet. Because right now for the prototype, it's really about the function and locking that in versus the perfect aesthetic. So let's put this down. And let's head back inside. Simple as that. It's a nice, quick moment outside. Enjoy it while it lasts. I'm gonna go put things inside and then come back for you. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, here we are. Let's go inside. Okey-dokey. Put some of these tools to the side. And the primer's already very dry. It's great for today. Yeah, so to paint a birch tree, do I want to use white? Yes. Now if I bring up some photo examples to guide me, birch tree. Images. Okay, yep, that's pretty much what was in my head. Kind of show you what I'm looking at. So this is what we're really, this is our point of inspiration, right? Birch trees are very light wood tree with bright foliage on top. Make sure I got the right brush. I'll grab my water. Got my paint cup for water. This brush will do. Dry it off. There we go. My palette. Interesting that the glue did not dry overnight. Okay. Andy McCann. I love you too, buddy. All right, make sure you can see the details. There we go. So I'm gonna start by going sideways because I feel like that's the right move to make. Again, this is the first time I'm making this specific tree model. We're gonna see how it goes. Make sure you hit the like button to encourage me. Okay. Let's flip it upside down and see what we're dealing with. Okay, just a little bit. I covered most of it. So it's a very like big, sloppy, dry brush that I've done, which means it dries very quickly. We have a very bright looking tree. It doesn't necessarily look like birch, I'll be honest. But it's bright, which is what I want, because I want, you know, the green to pop against bright wood versus dark wood. Cool. At the moment, I prefer prefab over making something from my own. I'm still kind of new to making things from scratch. For example, this prototype tree didn't turn out that well. So, but that being said, you know, made this from scratch. I'm slowly expanding what I'm comfortable with in making from scratch and what I prefer making. In many cases, because I film my own D&D games versus just play them off camera, I prefer to get pre-painted minis often. And then if I want to paint the mini, I will paint on top of the pre-made. So that way there is at least a mini ready to be played with on camera. I do want to learn more about making things from scratch. Like, I know once I get to like making my willow tree and some of my swamp trees, these armatures aren't going to cut it, and I'm going to have to make them from scratch from wires. And I'll get there when I get there. The next color we're adding to over this white is butter pecan. I use this for a lot of the wood texturing for the wooden scaffolds. So let's see how this turns out. It takes what's happening is we're taking where the whites are and we're darkening the white just a little bit into the tan texture. It looks a little bit more natural. No. Stay standing, bright one. You have many years and seasons to go. Many rings to grow. I think prefab material, like the tree armature, is great for teaching and learning in the early curves. Like, in a very ADHD kind of way, you don't want to stop and learn every step of every process in any possible way when you're just trying to learn to make your first tree. You kind of want to get halfway in quickly so you can have confidence in the process more than you would if you started from scratch.
Every minute.
Nope.
No.
That's a big difference in color. That's a nice light wood looking tree. Here it is. Okay. Let's get a wash. Those are red tone washes. Here we go. Strong tone. So now that we've primed it dark oak brown, and then we did a white pass, and then a pecan pass. Is it butter pecan or butter pecan? You tell me. The butter pecan pass. And now we're really going to focus on darkening the crevices of the wood. So we will start with the bottom log piece.
Snake, get away from it, please. Hey.
Oh shoot. Andy, you've been saying stuff in chat and I have just not been looking at chat. I'm sorry. I enjoy that aspect, learning things as I go, getting better adding that stuff to my brain to hold. Yep. Just wanted to say I always enjoyed your content since corridor days. Hey man, thank you very much. I believe it's pecan. Is it pecan or pecan? It's always, that's going to be one of those heavy questions that philosophers always ask about. Is it pecan or pecan? I feel like it's harder to figure out that answer than GIF or GIF. I think it looks really nice. Oh, that fell. Let's see. If I zoom in, it stays in focus. Yeah, that looks nice. Let me do the same treatment to the top. Looks like bark. There we go. Beautiful. Now if I put next to it one of these dark ones, I like it. It looks really nice. That is perfect English. Okay. And it still needs a highlight pass, which we can get to once more of the foliage is actually on top, because then we can actually go in and spotlight the highlights where the light would catch it. Also, that gives it time to dry. Polyfiber. Let's see, where do I have it? Here we go, polyfiber. Don't need a lot. Now, I've seen some great trees without polyfiber. And they just put glue on the branches and let the leaves catch it. The trees that I've seen and want to emulate, polyfiber is going to be the right tool for the job. And I'll go through and glue these onto the tree, but first I just want to make sure I have the patches. And these are basically where the foliage is going to rest. And kind of function as like the layers of leaves. Okay, goes there. That's a little too small. Let's pull a bigger chunk off. There we go. I'm trying to make sure that between the polyfiber, we can see the branch that goes to the apex. Because it's nice to admire the branches when you look inward of a tree. So that's, you can see already with the polyfiber kind of what the shape of the tree is going to be when the foliage gets put on. I think this one could be a little bit bigger. This one over here so we have a bigger canopy on that side. There we go. This one's kind of eating up. A little too much on the inside. Okay. You can bend it a little bit just to shape it just right. There we go. I'm down for that. Let's put some glue on. Start with this piece. Not just on top, but a little bit around the whole set of branches. The glue needs to exist. There we go. Great. Put the next one on. Woo. Tyler! It's not foliage yet. This is the polyfiber surface layer. So this is meant to essentially make the mini canopies that catch the foliage. Similar to how we were using static grass for the pine tree to catch foliage. Essentially just makes a bigger surface area to catch it. And I'm just trying to be strategic in my placement so that way we can still enjoy the innards of the tree. Now, I've seen people not use this and just glue foliage straight to the branches. They look fine. They look good. But the ones that I ended up liking the most when I see them online have done either polyfiber or sea sponge. I think it's sea sponge. Something to build the shape of the tree outward. And also they've used way tougher glue. They were using like rubber cement. I'm like, I'm good. I don't want more reasons to wear gloves. There we go. But this is the shape of this tree, and we can see it very clearly, which is awesome. But we want to seal it for sure. Oh, it smells good to you? That's funny. Alright, so there we go. What was that in the way? I think that was a nozzle that allows the spray. Did this just break? You know what probably happened? Because it's glue water, glue got stuck in the pipe and dried. Magnet is too satisfying? It is. There we go. Putting glue all over my fingers. Ugh. Okay. Ben, where am I from originally? Well, I was born in Germany. Mostly grew up in Minnesota. Then I lived in Florida. Then I lived in New York City. Then I lived in upstate New York. Then I lived in Los Angeles, and that's where I am today. I can only speak German when in Germany. Some weird thing in my brain. Don't know why. You're in St. Paul? Hell yeah. Dude, I haven't been there in a long time. Oh yeah. So I just sprayed glue literally on everything. I love speaking German too. I just can't remember it. I was in Guatemala once and I couldn't speak Spanish, and my brain instantly switched to German, and I was thinking and speaking in German as if it was fluent and nothing else could come out of my mouth. And I was like, holy crap, the brain and the ability to survive is insane. I did move around a lot. I want to learn German again. I think what needs to happen is I need some friends who are local, and then I'm able to put the time into it and talk regularly with them. So this tree is, one, my little tripod is busted, but this tree is now soaked in glue. The goal is for it to just dry and sink into place, because we want to make these trees as strong as possible long term. So this is just got to dry as is, and this is the prototype piece. So none of the other trees are going to get this far today. But we are going to mess around with the other trees. And we're going to talk about the plan for the trees too. There we go. So, hey, it's me. So, trying to figure out what the plan is for the trees. We like our magnetic tall tree vibe. And now that we're seeing some of what the intended foliage is going to look like, this is actually really exciting. And at the same note, you know, if I want to take this tree off the tall log and make it a shorter, oh gosh, and make it a shorter tree, I can, just by taking it off that. And then if it needs to be a tall tree, it can go right there. We'll see how that affected it. So I really love that design. I love that idea. It's just a lot of extra steps. So I gotta think carefully how I'm gonna do this. And originally, I was saying, hey, I wanna make my summer trees, my autumn trees, my spooky trees, my fae trees. I wanna make all these trees, right? It's 27 like trees. A one shot that's coming up is Cocaine Owlbear, that I want my trees to be ready for. I don't need all the types of trees to do Cocaine Owlbear. I just don't. And it's good to know. So what that communicates to me is that I just need enough trees to get to Cocaine Owlbear. And I think I'm going to start with summer trees. Perfectly simple. Summer birch trees. So my goal is, in the world building process, is the seasonal trees of the world are light bark, kind of like birch. the pines are not. And then we have decrepit spooky trees, which will not be light bark. They're going to be darker, maybe some purple, maybe even some blue mixed in there. And I don't need all of those for Coconut Owlbear. I do want to get a Fey tree done. This prototype might be a Fey tree. Might not be a Fey tree. A Fey tree produces wildwood. And in the lore of my world, Aida, wildwood is specifically used to produce rich carbon charcoal that allows iron to become steel efficiently. Otherwise, normal in real world, if we want to put charcoal in a kiln when we're cooking up some iron, we're actually end up making some steel because science. In Aida, you need Fey trees to do so. If you're going to cut down normal trees, you need to cut down a lot more trees than you think, while a Fey tree will produce enough wildwood to make plenty of steel. And that's just the part of making a fantasy world. So I want to make a Fey tree because I want Cocaine Owlbear. I'm feeling that the cocaine is a pixie dust or a fairy dust kind of effect. So making a Fey tree will be great. A Fey tree, I think, is going to be dark oak. So it stands out dark oak. It's just going to be dark bark to stand out against normal trees. But it has to be a tall tree. So that way I can shrink all the trees around it so it pops up a little bit. So that's what I'm thinking. How many trees do I need to make for Cocaine Owlbear? The first phase of this project. I don't know. If I clean off my table, I can kind of show you what I'm thinking. Give me a sec. There we go. Just clean all this off. All right, so this is my playing area. It's a motorized Lazy Susan. You guys can thank Alex, who's a regular donator on the channel. He went above and beyond and donated this by purchasing on the Amazon wish list. This is a 2-foot wide Lazy Susan. And then, let me grab the map. A little stuck, give me a second. There we go. There we go. So if it's a forest, and these are dual-sided grippy maps. They're a little larger than needed, but that's okay. I get these from Etsy from... I know that he prints it on these. Give me... This one has a grid, so he's likely to put it on this one. Here it is. So from Etsy, Grip Mapped, GRIPMAT. Does custom shapes. You can do dual-sided. Choose whatever side you want it to look like. You can submit a design. and a single dual-sided with edging. I got this for, I think, $50. I can't remember because I normally buy them in bundles, in groups, so I spend about $100 to $150. So I think it's about $50 per 2-foot circle. So let's figure out how many trees we can fit on the map. And still be playable for a forest game. Remember, if you think of a forest as a dungeon, your trees are basically its pillars. So you want to think of them as organic architecture, not so much as just bundles of trees. So we could make, with 6, you're able to make a row that happens, a pathway. There we go. So right now I got a nice path happening. And this is the reason why we want our tall trees. So that way we can reach underneath and not interfere with it. Or get knocked over or anything like that. So for path, we're looking at a solid 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 trees for a pathway. If I can rotate it. Now you can see the path very clearly, right? But to the players, they'll see something like what you're seeing, where it's kind of layered around. Let's say we have a clearing. We need an we need an entrance and an exit to the clearing. So the obvious entrance will happen here. So it looks like 8 trees is kind of covering a good shape. So we have a nice round grove clearing space. And then we have a pathway. But let's say we want them to just be lost in the woods. So very organic, scattered of trees. That one can actually just stay still. And it looks like the shape that I'm making is a V. It looks like we have a V going right here, another V, and then just 2 opposites. And that feels like a scattered forest. So my hope originally was to mix seasonal trees with pine trees. But researching even further on some of the details and the difficulties of making the pine trees, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it in this first phase of tree making, which is fine. But this is a lot of trees. That is 8 trees. I was expecting only to make 4 summer trees, because half the reason was I was going to intermix it with like 3 or 4 pine trees so we get a variety of life happening in the forest. Now I do have back here, this is a tree that I did not make, but I purchased. And I could mix in these like little pine trees. And I got 3 of them. So I can swap out some trees. There we go. So I can have 3 of my old pine trees involved while putting down what looks like to be 5 seasonal trees, 5 summer trees. That's one method. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking when it comes to what I need this first batch of trees to be. And if I'm making 4 pine trees in the long run, I don't need 5 summer trees for this game. What did I just say? 5 summer trees, yeah. I definitely should use my old pine trees to kind of help. This is the thinking phase of the stream. Four summer trees for sure. Three pine that I have already made. And if I add one more summer tree, it's not the end of the world. But it does start to stack on my storage. What? Oh, let me check the chat. I haven't checked chat in a second. Tyler spent a few years in Guatemala. Also lives in Sweden. Word. Thanks, Alex. That's right, Ben. Dig it. Oh, yes, mixing those would work very nice. Thinking phase sounds like a good time for a left-handed cigarette. So, if I use the 3 pine trees that I have, that gets me through the game. It does help a lot. I don't want to make 5 summer, because when I'm storing them, it's kind of the part of the build here, right? So, I can... The limitation in my storage is a big one is height. And so they're going to be stored like this. And then when I need to use them, they're tall.
You must be getting that tall storage bin.
No, they store like this.
Oh, because they can connect to a base.
Yeah. So if that's how it's going to be stored, because every tree needs a log to go with it. Tyler says hi.
Hi.
26 trees, 26 logs. I'm thinking... I'm thinking for summer. I could just do 4 summer in 1 Fey tree. And the Fey tree is just always there. In the sense, like, deep in the forests, there are many Fey trees. Which makes a lot of sense, actually. This is not a tree I made. This is a tree I purchased. My first trees I purchased because I wanted to learn how they were made by holding them. Yeah, I could make 4 summer trees, 1 fey tree, and that'll be the first phase. For the pine trees that I currently have, what I can consider doing is making logs for them so that they're tall as well. It does mean I'm going to have to bust up their bases because currently they're kind of like this and they're very skinny, very, very skinny. Where's my spare log? Here, I'll get an uncut log for you guys. So they start 6 inches, and I have to cut them all. But it is much thicker. It's fine, but like I can also taper the edge a little bit. But I would have to do that for these trees. Which brings me to... That's fine.
Hey, hey, hey.
Cats are fighting. 3 logs for the pine.
I don't think you were playing nice, sir.
I've already cut a log. I might have to cut a new one because that's glued to a base. So let's just say 4 on top of the 3. And so we have 3 pine logs, 4 birch logs, 1 fey log. So 8 logs just for the first phase. Okay. That makes sense. I think that's processing well in my brain.
Is it?
Is that? Oh, is that processing right in your brain? In it? Oi! So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna modify my old pine trees just for the game, and I will work on learning how to make better pine trees as I go, and which are made from scratch so far. And we'll make 4 birch trees and 1 fey tree. Okay, he's big ballin' now. Oi, you big ballin'? That was quick shift. That was an arc. That was like a nice soft ease in and ease out for that accent. So let's talk about bases. Bases are important because they're, as you see on the map, right? We want, it doesn't have to be blended perfectly. It's never going to happen. But we want it to aesthetically blend in a way that is nice to look at. One of the methods, let me grab my phone. One of the methods is taking this 1/2 inch foam and kind of doing this, but with this, right? Does that make sense? And then we can shape the edge to be kind of rock-like. We can put some foliage on the top so it kind of looks pretty. And these are summer trees. So we know where those trees are going to live and what kind of the grass is supposed to look like. When we make the autumn trees, we know what those bases are going to look like. They're going to look very autumny, harvesty, as if the leaves have fallen on top of some grass. dead trees, aka winter trees, I think can be more of a dirt. So that way it can be used either way. And I think that's fine because it's a nice contrast to the white snow. What else? Spooky trees, poison webbed covered trees. I think
Spooby?
spooby.
Spooky or spooky? Spooky's for kids.
Spooky. Spooky trees will probably be dirt, and I could put some mushrooms or something on there.
Mushrooms!
Mushrooms are definitely going to go on the Fey tree.
Mushrooms grow on the ground, babe.
Mushrooms grow on trees.
No, they grow on the ground.
They grow on both.
Really?
There are trees that there are mushrooms that grow on trees.
Let me say this.
Good luck. Allie just learned something today. She was this old.
Oh, they do. They grow, but they. Okay. They grow like in the trunk.
Yeah.
My brain was thinking they grew off like the.
Like fruit. The fruit of this tree has provided me fungi.
Yeah. That's my brain was. Oh, she's gonna get him.
The Fey tree is a dark oak
Go get him.
tree.
Go get your brother.
The wildwood is definitely dark. The leaves and the foliage on a Fey tree are going to be purple with a little bit of pink. I have some stuff. So I also got this nice little mix of colors. So I'm thinking the Fey tree is primarily going to be this. And then we can sprinkle on top of it this cherry blossom-like thing just around the edges. That's my thought. Okay. This is making sense in my brain. Pine trees are seasonal. Not seasonal. They're not. They're... Oh... the geologist would be... No geologist cares about rocks. They don't care about trees. Who cares about trees? Herbology. I'll figure out the base for the pines. But it allows us... No, I don't want to do magnets. I want to stick and glue. Pine tree can have like some dead grass look to it. There we go. Cool. So that's what we're going to do for the bases. Let's make a... I'm going to keep streaming for a little bit. Let's try to make a prototype of what the base is going to be. And take this guy as a trace. Someone's got a big motor outside.
Yeah.
Cool. Adam, how you doing? So, we're going to cut that. Yeah, let's get the Proxon out and we can cut it. Let me grab the Proxon. Hi, Luna.
Can I help you?
All right, we're going to do it on the floor. There we go. of my tripod is busted. Oh, there it goes. Fully broke. How are we gonna do this then? We can have you guys sitting here, mounted to the leg of the table. There we go. We can always make do. When you don't have a table, you can find a floor. I did not freehand that circle. I used a trace. I used the undead giant. Whatever happened to the real life anime rocket launcher video? I can't find it anywhere. Anime rocket launcher video. I can't remember that. Oh! That's right. I don't know what they did with it. If they even, release it in the first place. Clean up the edges. I'd imagine they released it. Unless they want to be fools. Oops. There we go. Alright, this is a rough cut out of that circle. We're doing this pretzel leg style. I remember a video. Yep, you're remembering the right video. That's the video I shot and edited. Okay, so we have that. We want... No, that's gonna take too long and it's too messy. So what we're going to do... And we're just gonna angle it. And so we're gonna cut on this side. Just to give it a nice bezel.
What are you making on the floor?
A tree base.
Oh, interesting. Luna's going to come investigate.
Great, I miss Luna. I miss hanging out with my little Luna Lovegood.
You'll regret that when I destroy what you're doing. You come back to the couch again.
Okay. How much smaller is this circle now? Up top? Not that much smaller. That's great. Bottom? It's about the same size still. Great. Okay. Now we can move back up to the table. And we can actually give this the my favorite type of rock texture. And you're gonna love this. Let's unplug for safety. So my favorite type of rock
Wow.
is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Wow.
Okay, so these are my rocks. I'm a geologist. So we have gray rock, frost rock, desert rock, and lava rock. Taking me a long time to get to the rocks that I like, and I like that I have rocks for most parts of my world. So these bases for the trees, which we can kind of just poke a hole in right now.
Your music makes me feel like you're listening to some gaudy, like, Catholic horror film.
It's just Skyrim.
Honestly.
You know, tundra, snowy skies, rim music ambience.
It has that, like, very church,
It's got that holy vibe.
yeah, that, like, choir.
I think the videos. I don't think the video's marketed on the anime Rocket video. I think the video is marketed on the other side story than that video. Or that story. So the thumbnail and title aren't about the anime Rocket. What was the other side story? I'm not sure. Oh man, that one's a hard one to dig up. I would check in on the corridor Reddit. Okay, so I'm really happy with these rocks and how they can tell a story with everywhere. Fun fact, the texture on the top of these rocks, no, the bottom doesn't really matter, but like the top of these rocks is the same black pepper that I use to texture the bark of these trees. So what we're gonna do is we're going to make this full rock, and then we'll put grass and stuff on top.
What are you looking at?
There's a lot of ways to make rocks for tabletop. Some ways are more appropriate than others depending on the terrain or the game and the overall aesthetic. There's no true wrong way. I'm a big fan of just finding consistency in your aesthetic though. So we basically scarred the edging. Zoom in. There we go. And that's going to allow us to rip it apart and get this kind of a texture effect. So take a ruler. All right. Great. Just gonna bevel the edges now. There we go. Very Rocky-like. Throws the punches. Checked our corridor and the post has been deleted. Time to start a conspiracy theory. Hilarious. Cool. So that's going to be pretty much the rock of the base. And it's definitely in a style, right? It's a vibe. It's definitely better than having a flat plastic piece and then just sprinkling grass on top of that. Or is it? You know, this is prototype phase. Is this better than this? We can paint both and really get a testing aesthetic there. Can I peel this off? No. And we have to try out this. Okay, so this says get painted black. let's head outside super quick, and I can spray paint this. I want to stick this on a thing so I don't have to paint my fingers. I know I got a pokey thing somewhere. There we go. We can probably use this. Perfect. All right, let's go outside and paint a primer on this platform. Harm? What's the illusion? This way? Okay. Did that work? There we go. Looks good, especially for the sake that's going to be the sides are going to be gray rock because they're not. Keep getting disconnected.
Oh my god, you scared me.
And if I were to put these trees in a tundra, I probably won't use these bases with these logs. I would probably make some spare logs just for winter. That makes more sense to me. Okay, we'll let this dry. We'll put it right over here. This, we can paint it. And I'm thinking what might be smart is with hot glue gun, once this dries, hot glue gun, I can kind of make some roots that come out. So we'll let that dry. Meanwhile, we'll mess around with this. Foliage. So the idea is we take the tree off of that, we snap it on here. Okay. I think I'll be able to do just this. Check this out. Ta-da! Grass. That's pretty pleasing. Do you do the glue and static method? No, I don't do the static method. It just doesn't match the type of grip mat and the table that I play. And it feels like it'd easily break, and I don't like that feeling when it comes to the game. I like it more rugged. So it kind of scares me. But for the autumn one, we could probably sprinkle some of this on there too. So I want to put some glue on there without messing around with the paint. So let's get this guy down. Rockin'. There we go. Stay put now. That turned out really nice. It's got that holy vibe again.
Yeah.
Do, 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 do. Hey, can you go to the other table and help Luna not swallow paper?
That's your son. She's on the window. Sing.
It's just probably a big piece of paper which is fine.
You're adorable. You can't have this.
I just don't want him to.
No, I know. I'm gonna take it away from him. Just gonna play with him for a second. Supervision.
There we go.
Are you okay? Yeah,
And then I'll just.
He bumped his head.
He bumped his head, everybody.
And it was your son. She's in the window like the good girl.
Okay. So we could put this. Let's get that piece off. Yeah, it does have that vibe, doesn't it? Let's double down on that vibe. Much. Just use my finger to take some of it off. There we go. A lot lighter. This isn't bad. Like, this is clean. Matthew Perkins. Let's see. Yeah, it has a nice moss effect. Andrew, those aren't what I thought those were. Mighty Birch energy going on here. Yeah, this is a nice, clean, flat effect. Here, let me get all this excess out of here. So yeah, this would neatly go right there. And for the top of the tree, That's pretty nice. Do I have some broken twigs? I do. What happens if we put like... Oh, now we're getting somewhere. If we paint those twigs and place them there. Don't need to be on all of them. But it's definitely something that will look really nice. And I'm messing it all up because I touched it.
Oh, the tree's coming.
Tree's looking really nice. I'm not able to do much up top because all the glue is drying.
It looks good though.
But I'm messing around with figuring out what the base is going to be.
Okay.
And right now it's a nice looking base.
Nice.
Hey, Alan.
Yeah. That's cute.
Right?
It's like a little tree cloud.
Like a little tree. So I'm not against this if we go with the flat plastic base and we put some green on there. Especially this tree is supposed to be a lush, summery tree. So the green does make sense. And then if we want a short tree, it just goes on this little guy. But it's unbalanced right now, so I'm not messing around with that. How's this doing? It's dry enough for a prototype.
What are you doing? That box is not for you.
So this is the alternative idea. Rock texture in the style of this. All right.
Leave this box alone.
It's going to be a little bit wider and flatter. And it would just be about the same size. There'd be grass on top, but it'd be rock on the side. So yeah, that's kind of the idea right now. My cat just keeps playing with paper. Cool, I'm gonna write all this down, make note of the plan. We're figuring out these bases. This is not a bad option. The plastic base with grass on it. Figuring out the rock one we'll do tomorrow. We'll paint this up and kind of stick it on and see how that goes. And we have 4 birch trees we have to make that are summer, and 1 fay tree. And then we will make logs for the existing pine trees, so that way I don't have to make them just to play Cooking Owl Bear. And all of those need logs, these bottom bases.
Did you find it? How did you get that?
It was hilarious.
No. Your father's gonna toss this out tonight. No.
My cat.
Stop it. You cannot have the paper. No. I don't care how cute you are. You can't have. No. No, you cannot have it. No. This is not for you. You put that paw away. Yeah. This is spooky. You shouldn't attack it.
So yeah, we're gonna have 5 total trees that we're making, but we're gonna be making 8 logs. for this first phase of the forest series. After we get done with summer, we're going to go into autumn, we're going to go into winter, we're going to go into spooky territory. We're going to do a lot of trees. With this first phase, 5 trees, 8 logs, 8 bases. I think that's doable. And then I can play Cokie and Owlbear. Versus trying to make 26 trees and only 5 of them ever get used for the game. And then tomorrow we can do a foliage test on this because it'll be dry. How big is this one-shot planned? The goal is to actually make it smaller than you think. The 2 one-shots that are coming out on the Patreon will be very big because I had the bad habit of kind of like making short films rather than making a small moment be a big story. I was trying to make a big campaign shoved down into a one-shot. And I'm trying to reverse my practice in making small moment, very tight plot that could be done in an hour, 2 hours tops. So very tight, using the hero's journey and the heroine journey for like guide. And then I let the players fill it out. So the hope is that it's actually just one game. It will probably be a 4-hour game. Plan for 2 hours, it'll end up being 4 hours. If I plan for 3 hours, it'll be 6 hours, right? So plan for if I tighten it down to like bullet points for 1 to 2 hour game, there's plenty of room of shenanigans and banter that can expand it. And then also, I'm going to be adapting it non-stop as we're going. But I want to get in the practice of doing that for my one-shot design, not even just one-shot, but my campaign designs. And then also make shorter games, which make it easier to get out sooner. Yeah, that's kind of the plan. I can't talk too much about it because Allie's in the same room.
Oh no.
Oh no! No! I mean, just off the bat though, this looks nice. I think this looks really nice. Yeah, it's tall in a weird way, but it's also tall in a nice way. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hey, do you know what I mean? A bonus of having it magnetic, because this looks good enough that it should just be built this way, but a bonus part is if I can't reach them, I can always take this off, move the mini, and then put it back on. How tall is this tree right now? Before I wrap up this stream. 20... "24 centimeters. What's 4 centimeters in inches? About 1.5 inches. So it's about 9.5 inches tall. There you go. It's a tall tree. I mean, if I put it next to this undead giant, which is a huge creature, there's medium, which is a human, large, which this is an example of a large, right? This is a huge. He could chop down this tree and we could see it happen. Be cool. All right. Tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's what I'm going to start streaming tomorrow. We're going to continue on this tree prototype. We have a plan of action. It's great. I'll reinstate the plan of action tomorrow as well. And yeah, I'm hyped. I got to clean this all up before I get to go eat. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. We'll get lost in the woods together real soon. One tree at a time. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, afternoon, evening, and of course, have a wonderful good night. Please hit the like button, subscribe, check out Patreon. I have a free Discord, all linked down below. And I will see you tomorrow, 4:30 p.m.